What's up, guys? So today I'm refilming the Trap House Storytime video because the first time I did it, it was my first YouTube video. You know, my editing wasn't good. I left out a lot of details and I don't like the way it turned out. So today I'm just gonna refilm it for you. And I left out so much details, I forgot to tell you guys that there's actually a part 2 and 3 to it. So if you guys want part 2 and 3, just make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down below. But yeah, so let's get into the story time. This took place during about April of this year. Basically, I was going through like a really tough time in my life. I was going through personal stuff, let's just put it that way. And I had a friend who I've known all throughout high school. We're just gonna name him Bob in this video because Bob is it's a basic name. I don't actually know nobody named Bob. Most likely y'all don't know anybody named Bob because it's just one of those very generic names that no one has anymore. So we're just gonna call him Bob. So I called Bob one day and I asked him, hey, can I buy some weed from you? Because Bob, he's a drug dealer. Yeah, so he left high school senior year to drop out and sell drugs. I don't know why, he was about to graduate, but that's what Bob did. I'm not gonna judge him. So I asked him, I was like, hey, could I buy a dime from you? Which is the smallest amount of weed you usually buy. And it's 10 grams of weed. And it's usually like a very tiny, really, really tiny bag. Bob said, yeah, sure, I'll be able to give you some. Just meet me on the Ave later. And I was like, okay, sure, but can you roll it for me because I don't know how to roll a blunt. And he was just like, yeah, sure. Then while I was on my way to meet him on the Ave, like I would say maybe 20 minutes later when I'm already almost halfway there, he calls me. He's just like, hey, so we're just gonna roll it in the trap house instead of me going to the park to do it because it's really windy outside and it's not gonna work out if we do it at the park. And I was like, the trap house, so who's gonna be there? And he started naming a bunch of people I obviously don't know. And I was like, so you really think it's okay if I go with you into a trap house? And he was just like, yeah, like you're gonna be safe. I'm not gonna let anything happen to you. I was just like, okay. So I still met him on the Ave. Then we walked to the trap house. It was like maybe a 5-minute walk. And from the outside, it just looked like a normal, nice house, which was actually kind of not normal because that neighborhood's not nice. So most of the houses, first of all, there's barely any houses in that neighborhood. It's just mostly buildings. So I guess that itself was like kind of suspicious. I'm guessing like it was abandoned, but I guess it was technically still abandoned because I remember the house didn't have like working water or anything. That's another story. But yeah, so anyways, either he unlocked the door. I think he unlocked the door by himself somehow. I think he had a key. And as soon as we open the door, I just see like a huge dog just like jump at me. And I'm just like, I'm scared. Like I just stand there because I know when a dog is chasing you, you're not supposed to move because it might bite you. And I'm not afraid of dogs. It's just when a dog that's bigger than me, because I'm only 5'1", is coming at me in an already scary environment, I'm just gonna be shook, basically. And he was like, oh, don't be scared. That's just my dog. Like, I just have him here. And I was like, why is your dog in the trap house? What? Is your dog gonna smoke with us? What? Why? All of a sudden, his aunt just grew an allergy to fur. So she was just like, you can't have a dog anymore. And he had his dog for about 5 years, so he obviously wasn't gonna give it up. If you guys hear that, that's my cat actually. She's trying to get into the room, but we're just not gonna do that. So anyways, as I'm walking up the stairs, because he told me to go in front of him, I don't know why, that should have been the first red flag. He told me to go in front of him. I just hear voices, and like the stairs set up like, okay, so this is the stairs, and then to the side is like where the hallway is. Here is just a room on this side, and like here's where the hallway is, so we had to turn this way. As soon as I turned the corner, there were just like maybe 5 guys standing there, guys that looked scary, of course, and I don't mean just like scary, like they looked like they belonged there. Let's see, they had black Air Force Ones, all cooked and everything. They had cooked, just normal Air Force Ones. They had do-rags, not even the silk ones. They had the polyester ones. They had scars, tattoos, that typical white t-shirt. You know, it was just bandanas in their pocket. It was just that typical stuff. Then Bob was just like, hey everyone, this, and they were just like, oh, is that your girlfriend? And he was just like, nah, she's just my friend. And I was like, yeah, we're just friends. We're not dating. And they were just like, oh, okay, that's cool. And they were always just staring at me the whole time. It wasn't really an angry stare. It was just like they were staring into my soul. I don't know how to describe it. It was just, either way, it creeped me out. It was just a stare. And every time they gave Bob a handshake, it was like a gang handshake. I'm not going to mention what gang because I still live in this area. I'm not trying to die. So I'm just, maybe when I move out, I'll tell you guys. Maybe I'll just pull a 6ix9ine, but no, but just at the moment, no.
Stupid. 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 Stupid.
Stupid. When he's like giving me a handshake, he asks me, he's just like, oh, I see you all the time. Like, do you know me? I'm just like, no, I don't know you. What do you mean you see me all the time? And he's like, oh, every time you're walking over here, because I have to go to like that area to take the train to school and to see my friends and stuff and to like leave my part of New York. He's just like, oh, I see you all the time, just like walking over here by yourself. You always walk really fast though, like you're not trying to talk to anybody. I was like, yeah. I was just thinking in my head, I'm like, yeah, because you guys are, no, I don't want to die. Why would I try to slow down while walking past you? No, just no. And I just told him, I was like, yeah, I just be having to listen to him. Then he was just like, oh, you don't look like you smoke weed. I was like, yeah, I don't really smoke weed. I just mostly eat edibles and stuff. But, you know, I can't make edibles in my house because my dad's going to be home and he's going to kill me. So I feel like I should just buy weed from my friend Bob. And then we're just going to, smoke. And he was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So then we just go into like this room on the end of the hallway. So then me and Bob just go to this room at the end of the hallway. And this room, like, as soon as you open the door, it just looked mad dingy. Like, there were holes in the wall. There was like stains and dirt and stuff just like on the walls, kind of. I didn't really pay attention to it. I just made sure the bed looked clean, which it surprisingly did look clean. Surprisingly. It wasn't even the bed though, it was technically just a mattress on the floor. But yeah, so he was just like, oh, sit down. I was just like, I kind of don't want to sit down. I'll just stand here. As I'm standing there, I was thinking, oh, okay, this kind of seems like a dangerous situation. Let me just send my cousin my location on iMessage just in case like something happens, and I'll tell her, hey, I was with Bob, because I think she met Bob once when we were really young, but she met him once. So yeah, I'm with Bob, and if something happens to me, if I die, if I come up missing, it's all his fault, and this is where I am. And I sent her my location. She was just like, okay. Like if I did die, she probably wouldn't even do anything, but she just said okay. Then like 2 minutes later, this guy just slams open the door for the room, and he comes in, he's just like, yo, y'all sending people our location? And Bob was just like, what are you talking about? Where did you get that from? Like, why you coming here just acting like that? And I was just there like, so this guy, we're just gonna call him John because that's actually Bob's friend. And John was just like, I don't know, I just had a feeling that, I don't know, I just had a feeling. So then he just gives Bob a dap. He gives me a dap, and Bob is just like, yeah, it's my friend Bethany. And he's just like, hi, my name is John. What's up? What's good? Then Bob was just like, hey, just sit down and smoke with us. I was thinking, oh wow, that's great. So he's just gonna smoke up all my weed, and you are too, because I'm technically paying for it. But I was just like, it's fine, it's perfectly fine. Then this huge guy, like while Bob is rolling it, this huge guy walks in. He's probably like 6'5", 300 pounds, had scars everywhere. His voice actually wasn't deep, surprisingly. Like his voice was pretty high pitched, and it just did not match the way he looked. But that's not the point. So he came in and he introduced himself to me. We're just gonna call him Scarface. I introduced myself, and he was like, "Oh, you're Bob's girlfriend?" I was like, "No, he is just my friend. We are not dating." And he was just like, "Oh, okay." Then he tells John and Bob that he needs something out of some room. So John and Bob, they get up from the bed. Well, Bob is just like, "So Bethany, I'll be back." And I was just like, "Oh, okay, yeah, sure, just come back soon." And he was just like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna take long." So John and Bob leave the room, and I'm in the room alone with Scarface. Scarface is just walking around, just looking at stuff. He picks up a cereal box that was like leaning on the wall, like on the floor at the same time. It was like on the floor, like it was up against the wall, basically. And there was like a huge hole in the wall behind where the cereal box was. And there was like a bag of Fonto in there. He reached into the hole and just like grabbed it. And they leave me alone in the room with Scarface. So Scarface gets a phone call, and he's just on the phone, he just gets really angry, because at first he seemed really calm, cool, collected. Now he's just like wilding out on the phone at somebody, just like, if you don't give me my money, I'm gonna kill you. You better give me my money by this time, or I'm gonna end your life. And he's walking around the room. There was like a cereal box on the floor, but like leaning up against the wall at the same time, kind of like that kind of. And he picked up the cereal box, and there was like a huge hole behind it. He reached into the hole into the wall and pulled out like a giant bag of Fronto, which is basically raw tobacco leaf that for some reason in New York a lot they put it in blunts because they say it makes it stronger, but it doesn't make it stronger. It just kills your chest, and it just kills your soul with every pull you take. And I don't know why that exists. I'll rant about Fronto in another video. That's not the issue right now. So yeah, then he hangs up the phone while he still has the bag of Fronto from the cereal box hole in his hand. Then Bob and John walk back into the room. They talk to Scarface about whatever they were talking about. Scarface just like, okay, I'll see you guys later. We're all just like, bye. Scarface leaves the room. So at this point, I'm just tired of standing. I eventually do sit on the bed. Don't worry, I ain't catch anything. I'm good. I'm safe. So I'm like sitting, like I'm sitting on the side of the bed that's like closer to the wall. Bob is sitting right next to me in the middle of us, just right next to me. And then John is like sitting next to Bob on the other side. But Bob is in the middle of us. So Bob is like rolling the blunt. At this point, he's done, and he like passed it to all of us, and we're smoking, so we're all getting high. And they're most likely just talking, listening to music. I'm on my phone. I'm talking every now and then, but I don't really want to talk because John is there. And like, I don't want to talk. I just don't want to talk around him because I don't know him like that. I don't have anything against him besides the fact that he's scary. I just didn't know him like that. I'm just like a shy person. Then all of a sudden, in like another room, we just all hear arguing. And at first they're just like, oh damn, that sounds crazy. And I'm just like, that sounds important. They're like, nah, it's fine, don't worry about it. It sounds like a woman around my age or a little older and a man around my age or a little older, they're arguing about a relationship. Because the woman kept screaming something about, this is the last time you'll ever cheat on me, I'm tired of you, blah blah, you always expecting me, let me see your phone. And she was just cursing him out, just going, and she kept getting louder and louder and louder, and like I kept hearing things being thrown and stuff. And then Bob and John, eventually they're just like, alright, hold on, we're gonna be back. And like they get up, then they walk out the room, I guess, see what was happening, and they close the door. And then I'm just high as hell, sitting there just looking around, and I'm like, yo, those brown stains actually kind of looks reddish. And I was like, there's some liquid that is red, but when it dries up it turns brown. And like I was just really thinking, I was having a moment. I was just like, and then I was thinking, oh, I really hope that's not blood. Like I would cry. I would cry and be very scared. So they're still arguing. Well, the woman is still screaming, actually, because I didn't really hear the guy. Then all of a sudden, I just hear like two loud bangs. Like, kind of sounded like somebody throwing a couch at something. And it kind of sounded like gunshots at the same time. Or it was probably muffled gunshots. Like, I'm not sure what that sound was. But as soon as like I heard it, the screaming just stopped. Then everything just got quiet. And then like I was just sitting there, just straight faced, just like. Then like a minute after all that happened, John and Bob walked back into the room. And they're just like, oh, sorry about that, we had to take care of something. And I'm like, okay, so I have to go home, like right now. My dad just called me, I have to go home. And he was like, didn't you say your dad comes home at 11? It's like 5 in the afternoon. I'm like, yeah, well, he's home now, so I gotta go. And he was like, alright, so John, I'm gonna see you later, let me just walk back with me downstairs. And John was just like, alright, bye guys. I was like, bye. I got my bag. I was about to walk downstairs. Then Bob was just like, no, wait, let's go to this room first and say bye to Scarface. I forgot to mention, Scarface is like the main drug dealer. Like, if anyone in that house, because they always sold drugs, but if they needed drugs to sell, they would go to Scarface and get the drugs from him and then sell it and then make a profit from it, but give most of it to Scarface. I guess he's like the drug lord, if that's what that's called. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. So yeah, we walk into this living room, and how did they have power if the house was abandoned? Yo, stoners just be doing stuff that don't make sense. Yeah, because New York rent is expensive. How does, and electricity too? Like, that don't make sense. But anyways, yeah. I don't know. Maybe they just stole like a power generator. I don't know. But so he opens the door, and as soon as you open the door, it's just mad smoke coming out of the room. I guess weed smoke. There were 2 couches. There was one couch with Scarface and some girl. There was another couch to the side with like another girl. Well, not really girls. They were like women, because they were like in their late 20s or early 30s. So the one on the couch by herself, she was just like twitching and like she kept scratching herself. She had like rashes all around her. Some of her braids were missing, and she just looked like she went through a lot. And she was just like fidgeting with her hands. Then this other girl that was on the couch with Scarface, she was like talking to him, and she kept like begging him, can you give me a Fronto bag? Can you give me the Fronto bag, please? I need the bag. And then he just picked up the bag like this and was just like pop, and just threw it at her, like in her face. And she just picked it up and started like digging in the bag for the Fronto. And then Bob was just like, so we about to be out. And Scarface just like, oh, yo, don't be shy, just come on in. And I was like, oh, God, Jesus Christ, why is my life like this? What is the purpose of life?
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason? What was the reason?
I just explained the reason.
What was the reason?
Then he daps up Bob. Then he gives me a handshake. He was like, hey, it was nice meeting you. If you ever need anything again, if you ever need weed, or if your friends need something, just call me. Just, you know where I am. I'll always be there to sell it to you. And I was like, yeah, thank you. Like, I'll come back. In my head, I was thinking, nah, I'm never coming back here. But yeah, I just said I'll be back because I didn't want to deal with anything. And then Bob walked me downstairs, and I called the Uber, and the Uber was outside, and basically that's just the end of the Trap House story time. Now there's a part 2 and 3 to this. And if you guys want to hear it, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
It's a young nigga world that we living in. Shout out the shit that I'm kicking in legendary. Vintage, Jumanji, we splashing blue. I got gold on my neck 'cause I'm legendary.